Hello, and welcome to Spooky Tales with Isaac Blood. Simply named because I'm Isaac Blood, and I tell spooky tales. Are you ready? Let's get spooky! Today, I'm revisiting Whitby, remotely. So, you may have already seen my original video about Whitby, while I was there in person. To recap, I talked about St Mary's Graveyard, Whitby Abbey, and Whitby Harbour West Lighthouse. Now, I'm going to talk more about the Abbey, pictured here in Exhibit A. This is a picture that I took when I visited Whitby back in June. Oh, just look at it. Yes, I may have added a dose of the old ChatGPT to give it that extra spookiness. But let's just pretend it's real, because it looks cool. Last time I was here, I talked about the ghostly nun, Constance de Beverley. Now I'm going to talk to you about St Hilda, the abbess who founded the monastery in 657 AD. Legend has it, upon her arrival at Whitby Abbey, she found the area to be infested with poisonous snakes. Oh dear, not a fan of that. Bats maybe, but snakes, no. St Hilda supposedly prayed for divine intervention that turned the snakes into stone, in the process curling them up into balls and making them headless, resembling the fossil ammonites that can be found on the beach today. Once the snakes had turned to stone, St Hilda threw them off the edge of the cliff. St Hilda died in 680 AD due to a fever that she had for 7 years. Her death is largely associated with a vision from a nun at her second monastery in Hackness, where the nun saw St Hilda's soul being carried to heaven by angels. This vision apparently occurred at the exact time of St Hilda's death at Whitby Abbey. St Hilda's ghost has been sighted at the Abbey many times. It is said that if you stand on the west side of St Mary's Graveyard, she can be seen standing in one of the northern windows of the Abbey, clad in a shroud. There have been rumours of hidden treasure underneath the Abbey grounds. One night, a local minister and his daughter came to the Abbey in search of the treasure, but as they dug, the daughter felt a hand tap her on the shoulder. She turned around to see a terrifying phantom of a tall, headless man. Then, the impossible happened. He spoke. I know, right? How's that work? He's headless. How can a headless man talk? A headless man walking, sure, but talking as well? But talk he did. He said, "Leave or die." Leave or die. I believe they went with the first option. Since that night, nobody has dared to search for the hidden treasure, fearing that they will awaken the headless guardian. Exhibit B. Apologies, there's a handsome man on the screen. That might be quite distracting. Oh, but look at that view. Now that's the view of Whitby everyone wants to see. Of course, the bald head and glasses is a bonus. This spot is the meeting place for the Whitby Ghost Walk, hosted by Dr. Crank, and this photo was taken not long before I went on the tour, a very spooky experience indeed. No more than about a minute's walk from where this photo was taken is a bench known as Dracula's Bench, marked with a plaque. Let's have a look at the plaque. Exhibit C. Let's read what it says. The view from this spot inspired Bram Stoker, 1847 to 1912, to use Whitby as a setting of part of his world-famous novel, Dracula. This seat was erected by Scarborough Borough Council and the Dracula Society to mark the 68th anniversary of Stoker's death, April 20th, 1980. While staying in the seaside town in 1890, Stoker would have heard of the real-life shipwreck in Whitby of a Russian ship called the Dmitri from Narva that occurred 5 years previously. In the novel Dracula, it was the Demeter from Varna that took Dracula to Whitby. As it states on the plaque, Stoker was particularly inspired by the Gothic scenery of the Abbey and St Mary's graveyard, which became a significant location in the story. Lucy Westenra, a character in the novel, was bitten by Dracula in the graveyard. While sleepwalking, she was drawn to it. It was in the graveyard where she was found by her friend Mina. She was unconscious and had bite marks around her neck. There are many people who believe that Dracula is buried in the graveyard, so much so there's actually a sign in the church telling visitors not to ask where Dracula's grave is because he is fictional. And that is where we are at in society. Want to hear more spooky tales? Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Stay spooky!